These archaeological discoveries didn't merely challenge our understanding of history, they revolutionized it. Join me as I count down 15 of the most astonishing archaeological finds ever made, starting with number 15. First up is the Yonaguni Monument, a submerged structure that remains a subject of debate. In 1986, diver Kiro Aratake was exploring the southern coast of Yonaguni Island, part of Japan's Okinawa prefecture. He stumbled upon a massive structure beneath the sea, featuring sharp edges, 90-degree angles, terraces, columns, and ramps. Initially, he suspected it was a sunken ruin. Marine geologists were skeptical but intrigued after divers captured footage of its unique geometry. This sparked global curiosity. Could it be an ancient city engulfed by the ocean? As the Yonaguni Monument, it lies roughly 25 meters underwater. It's measuring over 100 meters long and 25 meters high. The structure resembles a ziggurat or terrace pyramid, complete with platforms, ledges, and what some call carved staircases. However, the subject remains contentious. Some scientists, like Japanese marine geologist Masaki Kimura, argue it's man-made or heavily modified, possibly from a lost prehistoric civilization. According to Kimura, it may be over 10,000 years old, positioning it among the oldest man-made structures. He points to tool marks, purported inscriptions, and alignments with celestial bodies, suggesting it was part of a settlement or ceremonial site. Conversely, skeptics argue that it's a natural formation shaped by erosion and tectonic activity, rather than human craftsmanship. Underwater currents, earthquakes, and fault lines can produce sharp edges and angles in rock. Some scientists even contend that the monument is merely a case of pareidolia, seeing patterns where none exist. Should Yonaguni prove to be man-made, it would significantly alter our understanding of prehistoric architecture in East Asia. The oldest known Japanese settlements date back to around 10,000 BCE, predominantly made from wood and earth, not stone. The notion of a megalithic stone city predating the pyramids has largely been dismissed by mainstream archaeology as improbable. Yet, if it's natural, it stands as one of the most remarkable formations ever recorded, resembling human design uniquely. Today, the site draws divers and curious explorers, although no official excavations are taking place. Japanese authorities remain cautious in assigning labels to the monument. Those who have ventured into its depths describe the experience as unforgettable. They highlight the sharp lines and terraces that appear too orderly to be accidental, along with a staircase leading into the azure water. Be it natural or man-made, the Yonaguni Monument remains a magnificent testament to the unknown. Next, let's explore the Unfinished Obelisk of Aswan. Nestled in the cliffs of Aswan, Egypt, this colossal obelisk measures nearly 100 feet in length. It remains attached to the bedrock where it was hewn over 3,500 years ago, earning its name as the Unfinished Obelisk. This massive artifact is recognized as the largest ancient obelisk ever attempted. Had it been completed, it would have towered over 120 feet and weighed around 1,200 tons, exceeding any obelisk that was actually erected in ancient Egypt. A solo crack in the stone near its base hindered its completion. The unfinished obelisk remains where the ancient craftsmen left it mid-carving and partially detached from the quarry floor. Its surfaces still bear the marks of long-gone laborers. Unlike other obelisks located in temple complexes or transported to far-off cities, this one remains embedded in its original rock. Chisel marks and grooves indicate that many workers likely used dolomite pounding stones to slowly chip away the granite. They dug trenches around it to isolate the obelisk before working underneath it to fully separate it from the quarry. This wasn't a mundane project. It was likely commissioned by Queen Hatshepsut. Queen Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's most powerful female pharaohs, ruled during the 18th dynasty around 1500 BCE, known for her ambitious building initiatives. The obelisk would have been her crowning achievement, possibly the tallest stone monolith ever raised by human hands. However, it cracked, and the reason remains a mystery. The project was abandoned, leaving all traces of its unfinished state untouched. This aspect makes it significant, offering a glimpse into ancient construction methods. How did the Egyptians plan to transport a 1,200-ton object without modern machinery? Likely they used ropes, levers, sleds, and possibly lubricated tracks made of water or oil. If completed, the obelisk would have needed a specially constructed barge to float down the Nile, followed by dragging it across land. Today, visitors at the Aswan quarry site can explore the obelisk, running their hands over its unpolished surface and peering into the trenches where laborers once toiled. Though the obelisk lies, tilted, silent, and cracked, it was never raised or inscribed. Ultimately, in its failure, it tells a poignant tale, revealing not just what the ancients accomplished, but what they aimed for and how close they came. Now, on to number 13, the Roman Dodecahedrons, scattered throughout the territories of the Roman Empire from England to Hungary. Two Syrian archaeologists have uncovered over 100 peculiar bronze objects. Each one, approximately the size of a baseball, exhibits perfect symmetry and shares an identical design, a hollow 12-sided polyhedron known as a dodecahedron. Adding to the intrigue, these artifacts, dating from the 2nd to the 4th century CE, do not appear in any Roman art, literature, inscriptions, or technical manuals. The Romans, who meticulously documented everything from military campaigns to household items, left no mention of the dodecahedrons. They are absent from coins, mosaics, and the writings of any Roman engineers, generals, or philosophers. Despite the lack of documentation, these objects are real and strikingly precise. Each dodecahedron comprises 12 pentagonal faces, a central cavity, and 20 knobs, one at each vertex. The size of the holes in the faces varies significantly, with some being too small for a finger and others wide enough to accommodate a coin. They are primarily composed of cast bronze, though a few are made of copper or iron, with some exhibiting traces of gilding or fine engraving, suggesting their potential significance. Theories regarding their purpose vary widely. Some early suggestions proposed they were military devices, perhaps for calibrating projectile trajectories or determining sight lines. Yet no dodecahedrons have been discovered in military contexts or near known Roman forts. Others theorized they were candle holders, with a few found containing wax traces, but their design is inefficient for that use. Furthermore, some suggest they could be tools for measuring distances or angles, potentially serving as surveying instruments. Modern reenactors have tested this idea, using string and dowels to create simple rangefinders, though the variability among the objects makes standardized tools unlikely. This concept has gained traction, especially in regions where such garments were beneficial. An even more mystical hypothesis claims they served as astrological or divination devices. The number 12 may symbolize the zodiac, months, or Roman deities, while the holes could have been employed for star sighting or solstice calculations. An additional theory posits that they were utilized in knitting, particularly for making fingered gloves. With a long, lean body and an elongated head, its design is more abstract than realistic. If left unattended, it would have vanished into the hillside within decades. Archaeologists believe that individuals or groups have continuously recut the horse. This ongoing practice, called scouring, involves cutting back overgrown grass and preserving the figure's image. However, no written records of the horse exist until the 11th century. A revelation in 2018 through radiocarbon dating confirmed its age at around 11,600 years, making it twice as old as the pyramids. The main face has rectangular eyes and a stern expression, while the others form a totem-like sequence separated by intricate patterns. However, the meaning of these designs remains unsettled. Dendrochronology confirms it was cut down using sharpened stone tools with visible grooves. This statue may have once stood on a ritual platform near water, embodying intense cultural memory. This designates the Shigir Idol as the oldest monumental wooden sculpture in the world. Created by Mesolithic hunter-gatherers at the end of the last ice age, nearly a century later, its purpose still eludes scholars. However, the catch is that it was crafted 5,000 years ago in a time without wheel-based machinery. This has led to disputes among researchers and theorists for decades. Engineers have noted similarities to centrifugal pumps or ventilation fans. In 2001, a team created a 3D model of the disc and found that when spun, generated a small amount of airflow. The Sabu disc measures about 24 inches in diameter constructed from a flaky stone called metachist, resembling a modern turbine blade. Yet there's no evidence supporting these claims, as its shape does not align with existing lamp designs. Others suggest it represented the sun, a flower, or something symbolic, but again, the evidence is lacking. Some geometric motifs align with patterns found in Neolithic rock art, hinting at a potentially long-lasting visual language across Eurasia. In 1936, while excavating a tomb at Saqqara, Egypt's oldest royal necropolis, famed archaeologist Walter Bryan Emery discovered the grave of Sabu, official from around 3000 BCE, among the typical grave goods. One object stood out: a small, oddly shaped stone disc with 3 perfectly balanced fins curving toward a central hub. The existence of such complexity implies that these hunter-gatherers had deep spiritual beliefs and communicated symbolically, challenging the notion of them being socially simple. Was it the responsibility of a community, a family, or perhaps a ritual duty? Oral histories from the 1700s mention festivals where locals gathered to clean and honor the horse, but these accounts likely stem from even older traditions. This idol forces us to reconsider our assumptions about early humans' cognitive abilities, offering evidence of advanced belief systems and meaningful art that was never meant for public view. The horse's distinctive design contrasts sharply with later hill figures, appearing strikingly abstract. Some artists even describe it as prehistoric graphic design. Tourists often pass by them, oblivious to the fact that they are observing one of the greatest unsolved artifacts from classical antiquity. Unlike its neighbors, the Uffington White Horse has withstood the tests of time, surviving invasions, wars, and various changes throughout history. Discovered in 1894 by gold miners in the remote Ural Mountains, this massive wooden sculpture was buried deep within a peat bog, preserved for millennia in oxygen-starved muck. Standing over 17 feet tall, it is the tallest known wooden artifact from antiquity. Later named the Shigir Idol, each generation has consciously preserved it, despite their lack of understanding about its significance. Today, the National Trust manages and legally protects the site, but its creator remains anonymous, as does the figure's meaning. Despite their intriguing history, Roman dodecahedrons are housed in various museums across Europe, from the British Museum to the Museum of Art History in Geneva. Despite its cultural importance, we still lack the knowledge of who made it or their motivations. Unlike other hill figures carved in more recent times, the horse stands unique. Now let's turn to number 12, the Uffington White Horse. This prehistoric geoglyph in Oxfordshire, England, is an enormous chalk figure over 30,000 years old. It is so large that it can only be fully appreciated from the air, stretching more than 360 feet in length. The Roman dodecahedron's existence raises questions about a time when knowledge was fragmented and where beauty, function, and mystery intersected. Created by revealing the bright white chalk beneath the turf, the Uffington White Horse has survived the test of time for over 3,000 years. Scientific dating techniques, such as optical luminescence testing, suggest the figure was made between 1380 and 550 BCE, long before the rise of the Roman Empire or nearby Iron Age hill forts. This raises a compelling question. Why has the horse been maintained for 3,000 years? The custom persists today, yet its origins remain obscure. In the 20th century, aerial photography confirmed the figure's proportions and equine qualities. Now, let's discover number 11, the Shigir Idol. For over a century, its intricate geometry, humanoid faces, and ancient craftsmanship have baffled archaeologists. The implications of its existence are staggering. The statue's carvings include geometric symbols and at least 8 humanoid faces arranged vertically on its plank. Researchers suggest the iconography may symbolize creation myths, tribal lineage, or even warnings. The idol was carved from a massive tree that was over 150 years old when it was felled. Surprisingly, there are no known permanent settlements or burials from its creators in the region, only the statue itself. Moving on, at number 10, we find the Sabu disc. At first glance, it resembled a shallow bowl or a flywheel, but nobody had seen anything comparable in ancient Egypt or elsewhere. The design is symmetrical, featuring a central hub with a lip, as if meant to connect to an axle. Some propose it was a ritual item, perhaps a lamp or incense burner. More adventurous hypotheses suggest it could have had practical applications in air or fluid dynamics. This prompts the question, did ancient Egyptians possess a deeper understanding of rotational symmetry? Skeptics refute this, pointing to the absence of rotational devices in early dynastic Egypt. Conversely, others argue the lack of wear on the disc implies it wasn't part of a machine. Ultimately, what is surprising isn't that it confirms the existence of lost technologies. Rather, it's the fact that such a meticulously crafted item exists at all. A perplexing and flawless piece of ancient engineering, it challenges our understanding of what the Egyptians could achieve. Outside Glasgow, Scotland, lies a flat slab of sandstone that is unlike any other. What makes the stone especially intriguing is its burial. In the 1960s, local authorities controversially reinterred it under soil to protect it from vandalism and erosion. In 2015, the stone became a canvas for various people over millennia. Though no bones, they are meticulously aligned and engineered. Surprisingly, they are also designed to manipulate sound. The tunnels also incorporate interconnected water channels that could carry and amplify the sound. A flowing water throughout the structure, this was more than just a temple, served as a sensory machine. Some archaeologists theorize that the Shivine priests may have utilized this effect to replicate the sound of a jaguar, a sacred animal linked to their deities. Our understanding of Shivine is still limited, yet it's evident that these people grasped the human psyche and how to influence it in ways previously underestimated by historians. Their tunnels resonate, echo, and reflect. And somewhere in those dark corridors, a forgotten language of stone patiently awaits discovery. This finding suggests that Petra's trade network extended from India to the Mediterranean. With its religious centers deeply involved in luxury product distribution, the temple got its name from two winged lion capitals found among the temple's ruins. Surrounding the temple, numerous ceramic furnaces and kilns were uncovered, revealing tools used for stone carving, metalworking, and glassmaking. Countless small containers and incense burners still contained residues of perfumes, oils, and exotic spices. The Shivine tunnels stretch in various directions below the temple, creating connections between different ceremonial spaces. Some passages lead to chambers with unusual acoustic properties. This temple, often overlooked by tourists captivated by the treasury and the monastery, conceals astonishing secrets beneath its surface. In the sacred quarter of Petra, researchers discovered an industrial-scale perfume and incense manufacturing center dating back nearly 2,000 years. Others feature carved reliefs, hidden water channels, or caches. Tools or writing were found. They enlisted sound engineers to measure how tones reverberated throughout the tunnels. Their findings were astounding. The geometry of the tunnels corresponds with patterns known to elicit entrancing effects on the human brain. Additionally, the rooms were crafted with precise angles and unique stone compositions to control sound movement. The stone pulsates with history silent yet persistent. It remains a message that still awaits interpretation. A team from Glasgow University, led by Dr. Kenny Brophy, re-excavated parts of the stone, employing modern 3D scanning technology. Their findings shocked both experts and the public. The intricate carvings were even more detailed than expected. Measuring over 42 feet long and 26 feet wide, the Cocknose stone features a complex network of symbols. The Cocknose stone, however, stands as one of the largest and densest prehistoric carvings in Europe. This towering granite monolith possibly served as an oracle. However, it wasn't until the early 2000s that researchers began mapping the intricate labyrinth beneath the temple. This network consists of narrow researchers found these tunnels intentionally constructed to amplify certain sounds. Some chambers enhance chanting, while others create echoes that seem to originate from different locations. Certain areas generate low-frequency vibrations felt deep in the chest, producing a disorienting effect ideal for rituals aimed at inducing altered states of consciousness. Black tunnels carved from stone. The meanings of these symbols have sparked debates for decades, with theories ranging from astronomical charts to territorial maps and even abstract ritual signs or early proto-writing. For now, the disc remains mute, as it has for 5,000 years. Official documentation of the stone began in 1887, when Reverend James Harvey brought attention to the large carving found on a private hillside in West Dunbartonshire. Finally, at number 9, we encounter the Cocknose Stone, a map of symbols etched into earth. More than 90 cup and ring marks are entwined with swirls, circles, spirals, geometric patterns believed to be around 5,000 years old. Dating back to the late Neolithic or early Bronze Age, early archaeologists marveled at the stone's size and complexity. As most cup and ring marks are small, isolated features, some researchers infer that the symbols may represent land ownership, seasonal events, and spiritual rituals, while others propose they served as waypoints in elaborate rituals for the dead. This choice meant the stone disappeared from public view for over 50 years. High-resolution imaging revealed layers of carvings made at different times, some Neolithic and others likely Iron Age, alongside recent inscriptions, instead of a consistent message. The impressive temples and ceremonial plazas of Chavin are home to jaguar statues, unsettling stone heads, and the renowned Lanzon. These tunnels are far from random. But what do these spaces have to do with sound that makes them so enigmatic? In 2011, archaeologist John Rick from Stanford University led a team systematically studying these acoustic phenomena. But the engineering doesn't end there. The implications of this are profound. Over 3,000 years ago, a South American civilization skillfully used stone architecture to create immersive rituals combining sound, visuals, and possibly hallucinogenic components. Recent advancements in mapping technologies like LiDAR, sonar, and 3D scanning have uncovered chambers previously untouched, including one entered in 2022 that had remained sealed for nearly 3 millennia. Next up is the Temple of the Winged Lions, situated on a plateau overlooking Petra's Rose-Red Canyons in Jordan. The Temple of the Winged Lions was initially believed to be a standard religious site, constructed around the 1st century CE during Petra's Golden Age under Roman influence. One of the most remarkable discoveries came in 2003 when chemical analysis uncovered the presence of nard oil, derived from a plant exclusive to the Himalayas. Sadly, the temple was largely devastated by an earthquake in 363 CE. The upper structure collapsed, burying the workshops as Petra itself declined, overshadowed by sea trade's rise. By the 7th century, the temple and its operations had faded from memory. Today, visitors to Petra typically stick to well-trodden paths and miss this hidden gem, missing the chance to stand where ancient incense was once distilled and blessed. Discovered in 2010 at a site referred to as Cerros in Alto, Peruvian archaeologist Robert Benfer's team utilized ground-penetrating radar and discovered peculiar subterranean patterns, long linear shapes concluding in clusters. The Temple of the Winged Lions serves as a reminder that sacred spaces can double as scientific laboratories, revealing a past filled with business innovation and international connections. Foxes, often regarded as tricksters in Indian folklore, were seen in earlier cultures as symbols of irrigation. Layers of dirt and gravel were meticulously deposited over the temple, preserving the fresco and foundations. This suggests a ritualistic act of decommissioning, possibly prompted by climate change, conflict, or the rise of new beliefs. Here lies one of the most visually intricate enigmas in Europe, carved into a gently sloping rock face. The mapstones initially seem like random scratches. However, a closer examination reveals a remarkable coherence. The engravings form a complex grid depicting fields, roads, enclosures, and structures resembling a Bronze Age landscape carved thousands of years before humans had aerial means of viewing it. Others believe elite planners or ritual leaders could be responsible, utilizing standardized tools and methods passed down through oral traditions. Despite its age, it continues to fulfill the role of all good maps, not just indicating location, but situating us within the timeline of human thought. This stone isn't just a rock. It signifies the first known map of its kind, created by people who shouldn't have been able to achieve it until they did. And crop fertility recognized for their ability to dig tunnels and guide farmers to water. The main map covers nearly 26 feet of stone, etched with a nexus of rectangles, circles, lines, and dotted paths, arranged in repeating sequences. Remarkably, these precise engravings offer a bird's-eye view centuries before such perspectives were achievable. No balloons, towers, or flight existed, yet this map demonstrates an impressive understanding of how to abstract three-dimensional land into two-dimensional representations, a cognitive leap beyond the Bronze Age. Previously overlooked as mere art or some form of ritual graffiti, archaeologists verified that the patterns correspond with real topography in the surrounding valley, including hills, water channels, terraced fields, and trails from between. 1500 and 1000 BCE, this animal's dual connection to the earth. Water likely led to its deification. The main chamber revealed a striking fresco of a fox with elongated features and a coiled tail, along with geometric symbols resembling maize plants and flowing waves or rivers emanating from the fox's mouth. This art wasn't a mere decoration. It represented a pre-Incan cosmology where the fox was revered as a creator, mediator, and symbol of fertility. Moving on to number 6, the Temple of the Fox in Peru, located high in the Andean foothills near Puno. Archaeologists have uncovered a site so ancient it has reshaped our understanding of South American civilization. Dated to around 3000 BCE, the Temple of the Fox was named after an intricate wall painting later discovered inside. This temple stands as one of the oldest known ceremonial structures in the Andes, and is dedicated not to a sun god or jaguar, but to a fox. This finding astonishes researchers not only for its age, but because it unveils an unknown religious system with advanced agricultural symbolism, predating the rise of the Inca and even the Chavin culture. Upon excavation, they unearthed a massive U-shaped ceremonial complex built from mud, brick, and stone, over 65 feet in diameter. Significantly, the temple facilitated agricultural rituals that invoked the fox as an intermediary between humans and nature. Yet what's even more peculiar is that the site appears to have been intentionally buried. The Temple of the Fox is a testament to a radically different worldview, a world where animals serve as cosmic intermediaries, revealing that advanced religious thought and architectural symbolism predated the empires we commonly associate with these developments. Next, we explore the mapstones of Berolina, situated in northern Italy, near Capodiponte. This discovery challenges existing notions of early cartography. The Berolina map features a unique concentration of over 140,000 petroglyphs in the region, but stands out for its possible representation of land surveys, perhaps records of ownership or ceremonial territories. Some researchers speculate the map was collectively crafted by generations of villagers, each contributing based on their specific knowledge. Today, the Berolina map remains exposed, safeguarded by fencing and interpretive signs. At number 4, we delve into the Bay submerged villas. The sunken Roman city of pleasure located off Italy's west coast, not far from Naples. Presently, the town of Baia resides here, peaceful and charming, lined with beautiful beaches. Today, it stands as one of the world's most surreal archaeological sites, a luxury city engulfed by time and nature, yet still visible beneath the shimmering waves. From the 1st century BCE to the 3rd century CE, Baia thrived as a locale for political intrigue, debauchery, secret meetings, and imperial excess. Situated atop a significant volcanic caldera with a network of magma chambers, this area is geologically active and prone to a phenomenon called bradyseisms, the gradual rise and fall of the Earth's surface due to shifting magma. Beginning in the 4th century CE, parts of the city began to sink, with sections submerging over centuries akin to a geological balloon deflating. Researchers continue exploring it through submersible drones, sonar, and 3D mapping. Nestled between the Tyrrhenian Sea and the northern Cagliari Hills, Monte Codi is one of Europe's most intriguing ancient monuments. From afar, the massive stone platform resembles a step pyramid. Up close, it resembles a ziggurat common in ancient Mesopotamia. Yet this structure defies convention. It should not exist in Sardinia, Italy. Every few years, new structures emerge from the sands, some too deep to access safely, while others face risks of further subsidence. Monte Codi is not merely an acclaimed architectural feat. It stands as a profound anomaly, a ziggurat-like structure with no clear links, history, or legacy that mystifies scholars. It stands, built by individuals we scarcely recognize, using tools we've yet to uncover for purposes we can only conjecture. After 5,000 years, it continues to watch the sunrise unchanging, just as intended. Local legends have emerged to explain its origins, suggesting it was built by giants or served as a god's landing platform. This extraordinary archaeological discovery, carved from limestone over 5,500 years ago, is the world's oldest underground temple. It stands apart even among ancient edifices, with no written records, blueprints, or construction histories left by its creators. Such tales, while fanciful, demonstrated deeper truth. The site doesn't fit comfortably into established knowledge. Though it is not lost, it is vanishing. Once a symbol of Roman indulgence, it now rests beneath the surface, echoing with secrets. Notable figures like Julius Caesar, Nero, Caligula, and Hadrian all owned villas here. Cicero criticized its moral laxity, while Seneca mocked its extravagance. Yet all indulged in the city's allure. Carbon dating and pottery analysis indicate its initial construction phase around 4000 to 3500 BCE by the Oziri culture. Primarily recognized for pottery and cave settlements, it closely resembles Mesopotamian ziggurats, featuring a trapezoidal base step sides, and a ramp leading to a platform likely used for sacred offerings. Some researchers speculate the site facilitated astronomical observations or seasonal ceremonies. Nearby stone features, including a perfectly round boulder and a rectangular altar at the base of the ramp, were shaped and repositioned, but their purpose remains a mystery. Were they used for rituals, symbolized deities, or did priests ascend to deliver judgments? However, no evidence exists to suggest Mesopotamian contact with Sardinia during this time. No trade goods, no language, and no DNA ties can be traced, yet this structure appears as if ripped from Mesopotamian. Blueprints dropped in an isolated location without reason. Construction continued until around 2800 BCE, when an upper terrace was added, enhancing its appearance as a two-tiered structure. However, just meters beneath the Bay of Naples lies an astonishing sight: the ruins of an entire Roman city now completely submerged. Once a lavish resort town, Baia has been likened to the Las Vegas of ancient Rome, a hub of power, wealth, and scandal. The submersion isn't attributed to a tsunami or storm, but rather the slow, relentless shifting of the earth itself. However, the same volcanic characteristics that made Baia appealing also sealed its fate. By the medieval period, much of Baia lay below the waves. Locals salvaged stones, columns, and statues, repurposing them for new constructions. Romans didn't simply pour hot water into pools. They managed a concealed network for heating, ventilation, and maintenance beneath marble floors. The level of opulence is astonishing, but the political significance is equally surprising. Baia provided an environment ripe for secret alliances and conspiracies that shaped the empire. The city's legacy slowly faded, becoming a mere whisper in church records and medieval maps. Unlike Rome, Baia evolved through centuries. As emperors rose and fell, they added baths, villas, libraries, and performance halls. Current excavations have unearthed trapdoors, service tunnels, and advanced heat control systems in the baths. Today, it resides within Italy's only official underwater archaeological park. Next, we examine the altar of Monte Codi on the island of Sardinia. Discovered in the 1950s and thoroughly excavated in the 1980s, Monte Codi has astonished archaeologists due to its size, over 35 meters long and 5 meters high, its unique design, and its cultural isolation. This remarkable monument stands as a rare anomaly. Its architectural features are so unusual that historians were initially reluctant to classify it as a native development. Its orientation is also significant. Monte Codi faces the sunrise on the summer solstice, while several nearby megalithic stones align with lunar cycles. This complexity presents a compelling puzzle. In a world overflowing with data, there still exist corners of prehistory that elude understanding and don't adhere to known cultural progressions. Next, we explore the Hypogeum of Malta, Malta's subterranean temple in the modern town of Paola. Discovered accidentally in 1902 by construction workers, the Hypogeum was initially unrecognized as a temple. Authorities soon revealed a labyrinth of chambers connected by smooth tunnels descending over 10 meters underground. Today, the Hypogeum remains remarkably preserved, having been buried and forgotten for millennia. Visitors enter a narrow corridor leading into a space that feels more engineered than cavernous. Comprised of 3 increasingly complex levels, the upper section, dating back to 4000 BCE, is rudimentary housing, burial pits, and simple chambers. The more elaborately designed middle level, built around 3300 BCE, features the iconic oracle room, altars, and framed doorways that seem functionless. The third and deepest level, over 10 meters down, is more mysterious. Lacking decorative features, it likely served for storage or burial purposes. For much of the 20th century, it remained flooded, with exploration only undertaken in recent years. Limited access is granted to the oracle room, where those who linger may experience dizziness, nausea, or vivid imagery. Whether a product of suggestion or reality remains debated. Among the most shocking discoveries were the remains of over 7,000 individuals interred in niches, pits, and burial spaces throughout the temple. Many were incomplete skulls, without the rest of the body bones, lacking context, indicating the site served more than simple burial purposes. Some cranial remains displayed unusual features, including elongated shapes and missing sagittal sutures. A few skulls appeared cone-shaped, perhaps not from deformation, but rather from natural growth patterns. In the early 20th century, these remains were stored at the National Museum of Archaeology in Valletta, where they were photographed and catalogued. Strangely, they later vanished without explanation. Currently, only a few of these unusual skulls remain accessible in museum archives, tightly restricted. The core mystery endures. Why were these individuals buried in the temple's deepest, most sacred locations? Were they leaders or priests, or were they apart from the rest, due to their unique cranial features, either honored or feared? We may never acquire answers. The Hypogeum serves as a monument of mystery. Its builders are nameless, its rituals forgotten, and its geometry defies understanding. Now we move to the Valley of the Whales in Egypt's western desert. Far removed from the Nile lies an arid landscape of craggy cliffs and sand, resembling a parched basin of a long-lost sea. Within this locale can be found the extraordinary fossil beds of Wadi al-Haytham, which house the remains of countless prehistoric whales. These aren't just simple bones. Many skeletons are remarkably complete, preserved in such detail that stomach contents and embryonic teeth remain observable. Most astonishingly, the collection features whale species that still possessed hind legs, clearly illustrating their transition from land-dwelling creatures to ocean giants. This unique cemetery is unmatched worldwide, documenting the evolution of whales from land mammals to fully aquatic beings in vivid detail. To grasp how these whales ended up in the Egyptian desert, we must travel back over 40 million years to the Eocene epoch, when this one-saurid area lay submerged beneath a warm, shallow sea, home to diverse marine life. Over millions of years, as tectonic activities altered the ocean and restructured continents, the sea retreated, leaving behind a mosaic of sediment, after which the wind and erosion gradually buried the remains. They remained undiscovered for over 40 million years, until modern paleontologists revisited Wadi al-Haytham in the 1980s. Led by Egyptian scientists and international experts, their findings astounded paleontologists. Dozens of nearly intact whale skeletons, some spanning over 18 meters. The skeletal positioning in the sediment suggested how the creatures might have perished, some in pairs, while others appeared to have settled on the seafloor mid-swim. Even more remarkable, small vestigial hind limbs were still attached to some pelvic bones. It's clear evidence of their terrestrial origins. The contents of their stomachs reveal insights about their diets, indicating they were apex predators, possibly cannibalistic. One jawbone even contained teeth, characteristic of a transitional species between land mammals and fully aquatic whales. There's something sacred about this valiant, silent memorial to life, death, and profound change that resonates on a scale rarely contemplated. The bones lie exposed, bleached under the sun, whispering through 40 million years of wind and sand. Wadi al-Haytham does more than enlighten us about the past. It humbles the present. It serves as a reminder that perceived permanence, land, oceans, even species, is fleeting. The shifting landscape proves that change is the only constant, reinforcing the profound truth that some buried revelations were far too large to stay hidden forever.